Hi there everybody, this is David, and Dragon Quest just dropped a new trailer, a new content trailer. It just dropped like an hour ago, and I haven't yet watched it. I have it here paused at 0 seconds, and I thought it might be fun to kind of live reaction, watch it with you. Not live, but kind of live, if you know what I mean, because I haven't seen it yet, and just kind of talk and chat about it with y'all, and I definitely do think that's what the sub is. You come and you join a party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your your sub, and your brand new hype. It does help me out a ton. And also, just gotta say, if I do sound a little bit different, I just got back from Germany last night, and after about 24 hours straight of traveling, if not longer, and then not sleeping on the plane, I caught a little cold. So if I do sound different, that is why. But anyway, let's get right on into this trailer. I'm gonna be kind of going on through and pausing it and everything, and just kind of talking and chatting about, what I see and my reaction to all that. So let's just go.
Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake is coming.
Oh my, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Look at this, look at this, look at this. So this is in Dragon Quest 1 with the fairies. And remember, I told y'all that I saw a fairy village. They go and they invite me to all these different events and everything else like that. And they say, hey, at this point in the story, you're supposed to go and do this, to go and move on with the story. And I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to, but I don't want to do that. And the fairy village is one of the things that I saw there. And whenever I went there weren't any fairies there, but there was a mysterious little cat. And always my favorite comments that I get when I say that, my favorite comments are, yeah, he says that he saw this, but what's his source? His source is just trust me, bro. No, why would I lie to you? I'm telling you the stuff that I saw, give me a break. But anyway, so yeah, now we get to see some more fairies. We get to see the hero from Dragon Quest 1 going on in and fighting off the hordes of the Dragon
Remake
Lord
is
monsters.
Coming soon.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
Continuing from the...
Oh, remember I even told y'all that there was mermaids and everything. Yeah. So, south of Baran, there's a little rock there, and you get to go and meet up with the mermaids. If you go to Zahan, there's some sort of mermaid side story going on through there. So what's my source? Trust me, bro? Yeah. I'm telling you what I saw. It looks like the Princess of Cannock has some sort of healing ability or something. I don't know what she's doing there with the mermaid, but that's interesting.
From the critically acclaimed Dragon Quest 3 is packed with new features not seen before in the originals.
Brand new stuff, yeah. No kidding.
Dragon Quest 1 has been enhanced with new characters to interact with, additional dungeons to explore, and an expanded story to uncover, all to improve the player journey.
Well met, traveler.
So I just have to say this, the original Dragon Quest 1, if you knew what you were doing and, you kind of got through the grind a little bit quicker, you can get through that game in a day. The grind was the only thing that really went and brought it out. And I remember I was talking to some of the people there at Square Enix, and they said that the length of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, with all the new features, all the new expanded content, everything else, is going to be equal to the length of Dragon Quest 3. So yeah, they did have to put in quite a bit of stuff into Dragon Quest 1 to really beef it up, but I think most of the content went to Dragon Quest 2 because it's just a bigger game in general as well.
Addition, instead of playing 1v1 as in the original, you, the hero, will be battling against multiple enemies. You will have to master a broad set of fighting skills and magic abilities to keep the burgeoning horde of horrific nasties.
So here, something that I'm noticing is his weapon is changing. I've seen a sword, I've seen an axe, I see a magical wand right here. So he gets to equip all sorts of different weapons, which is so freaking cool. And also, and I did mention this in some of my other videos, was that all the monsters from Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, the Urgic Trilogy, have now all been kind of put into the various games. So you can see here monsters that weren't in the original Dragon Quest 1 are now introduced in Dragon Quest 1. It did have the Wolf Lords, but it didn't have these other guys right here, but now they are in Dragon Quest 1 as well.
From terrorizing Alefgard, you can approach combat in numerous ways, but a considered strategy is a must.
So, okay, he gets so many different magical spells. I saw that there were some scrolls that I could learn magical spells from, and I think that you probably learn magic spells from scrolls as well as from leveling, but it wouldn't just be the basic, hurt more, that sort of stuff. It looks like there he has a blizzard or a snowstorm ability as well. So lots of different spells and abilities are going on here. I'm really excited about that.
Strength!
In the original Dragon Quest II, sigils were only used to advance the story. But now, not only do they appear in both games, they also impact and broaden the scope of battle.
That is so cool that they appear in both. Okay, so Dragon Quest 1 didn't have any kind of like MacGuffins. It didn't have any things that get in the crests. Basically, you got like the Rainbow Drop, and you got the Sunstones, and you got the Staff of Rain, and then you made the Rainbow Bridge, and then you walked on over to the Dragon Lord's Castle, and that was that. But with Dragon Quest 2, you had to get these 5 crests. But again, they were just MacGuffins. Once you got the 5 crests, you could open up the way to Rhone, and then you could fight Hargon. But I did notice in Dragon Quest 2 that the crests did have combat like influences in combat, like allowing abilities to get critical hits or allowing spells to get critical hits. That's what they are talking about here, that they can influence the combat too.
Sigils are vital to the story of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, and will upgrade certain attacks and spells.
Magnificent!
So over here, it looks like they're getting the Moon Crest in Osterfair after that little tournament where you fight off the Saber Cat. And over here, looks like they're getting the Water Sigil, which you get at the, what is that town? Hamlin? Normally you get it in like that jail in Hamlin, but this doesn't look like the jail in Hamlin, but who knows? So maybe they added it in a different dungeon to get this Water Crest right here.
Dragon Quest 1 and 2, and will upgrade certain attacks and spells.
Magnificent!
Sigils can unlock new souped-up skills, incredible attacks and magic that could help you turn the tide of battle. Scrolls also appear in both games, whereby additional abilities and spells are learnt by using an item rather than leveling up.
It pleases me immeasurably.
Yes, it does. It pleases me immeasurably. Okay, so it looks like whenever you get a scroll, only certain characters in Dragon Quest II can actually learn that scroll ability. So it's not like an everybody can do everything sort of thing, but it's a way to further enhance your characters and further kind of make you want to go off the beaten path and find all the different stuff, all the different treasures, and not just go from point A to point B. So you can go out and you can find treasures that are very, very, very rewarding. I love that. And then it also talked about powering up abilities in Dragon Quest 1. So I guess you get those sigils, and it powers up the hero's abilities in Dragon Quest 1 as well.
Certain party members can learn the spell or skill associated with the scroll. And with a multitude of scrolls to collect, there's lots of...
So he just learned Multi-Slice. Caradoc learned Multi-Slice. That's the Prince of Cannock right here. And in the original version of the game, he was good with like the Falcon Sword. So I see that he has Falcon Slash, and they're kind of building on that with the Multi-Slice thing right there. But it's interesting to me that he also has like Flame Slash, Miracle Slash, Gust Slash, Lightning Slash. Although that doesn't make sense that he is kind of an armamentalist, I suppose. And he has, attack magic, healing magic. He's also really good at fighting and all that. So he does elementally based slashes as well. I would like to see what attacks the Prince of Middenhall has, but also you can see here again different weapons being shown, with a hammer from the Prince of Middenhall, this really freaking cool sword for the Prince of Cannock, a wand for the Princess of Moonbrook, and it looks like a boomerang right there for the Princess of Cannock.
variety and flexibility. Mini-medals appear in many Dragon Quest games, but for the first time, you can also find them in Dragon Quest 1 and 2. They are hidden all over the land and can be exchanged.
Wait, hold on a second. What is going on over here? So I already know about mini medals because I found the mini medal castle in Dragon Quest 1. So I know that the mini medals do exist there, and I've gotten them, and it is down, if you go down over the bridge as if you're going towards Cantlin, but you just go straight south and you don't head east towards Cantlin. There's a desert, and that's where the mini meadow castle is in Dragon Quest 1. But I just want to say, what's up with this monster that's on screen? The encounters are random, but here there's this monster on screen, this little skeleton right there. So I don't know what that is about, but that's very interesting.
For the land and can be exchanged for rewards such as armor, scrolls, and weapons.
Praise the Almighty!
A big addition in Dragon Quest II is an entirely new map to explore, the ocean floor. Not only will you be fighting against a flurry of terrifying new monsters, but there is a whole new story to be told, as well as new ways to traverse and new bosses. With additional...
Wasn't that the girl from Dragon Quest XI? Like, it was like the painting Dora something or other? That's what it looked like to me. So maybe they're doing... Not to spoil anything, but Dragon Quest XI is also put into the Erdrick trilogy as well, so maybe they're doing something there to connect those as well. And I remember at the very first Dragon Quest event that I went to, and I was talking to the people at Square, and they were saying, talking about lengthening the game, and I said, oh, does that mean that, we're going to go up to, like, Zenithia? Because I did see that lake with the guy there talking about, this heavenly castle, and he goes, not heaven. And I said, maybe an underworld? And he goes, closer. So I'm like, okay, this had to be what they were referring to right here, an underwater world, which looks absolutely beautiful.
Areas including a mermaid town, a ghost ship, and an undersea treasure vault. You will need to find your sea legs quickly to become the master of the deep. While exploring the seas, be sure to look out for the memories of the world. The evil Hargon's horrid minions were instructed to take them all and scatter them in the most dangerous depths of the ocean. You will have to search for the memories and send them back to the record keeper at the Fairy Palace for safekeeping.
Adventure awaits.
I love that. I love that. So that means that we're going to get more lore. We're going to get more lore about the world, and we're going to learn more about the world in the Erdrick trilogy, and it's probably going to help 11 tie in to this trilogy as well. That is amazing. This Memories of the World, and they're all underwater. So that means you got to scour the depths of the underwater, kind of like in Final Fantasy Legend 3, whenever you went underwater and you found all these like shipwrecks and everything down there. So that's probably what this is about. But there you just got like stones and treasures and things like that. But Memories of the World, I am all about this.
Dragon Quest II also brings you a newly playable character in the form of the irrepressible Princess of Canaan. She is a scion of Erdrick and sister to the Prince of Canaan, and raises havoc in battle using...
Okay. So we know there was this Japanese stream, and she joins you at the very beginning of the game as you're going to the baptismal cave in order to find the Prince of Cannock, and then she, doesn't join you for the rest of the journey until you have to go back and get her again. More than likely during the Baran episode where the Prince of Cannock gets sick and ill. So we know that at the beginning point of the game, she's more of a goof off, and then she probably grows into more of a warrior as it goes. But this makes sense right here. You can see that she is the kerplunk dance, the rib tickler, and the dodgy dance. So she's doing, goof off type abilities right there. So that's really cool. She also has a magical wand, as you can see there too. So we've seen a boomerang with her and a magic wand with her too, as far as her equipment is concerned.
Her swift speed and free-spirited and mischievous abilities.
Let the chaos begin!
In between fighting and exploring, you can also try your luck with the Tombola minigame, where you can win various prizes. Collect tickets on your travels, then use them at a Tombola machine to claim your prize. Anything from rare equipment and fashion accessories to other useful items to aid your quest.
Together we shall restore peace to this fair realm.
Okay, so that was in the original version of the game. It was just called Lottery, and you got these little lottery tickets and all that, so I'm glad to see that that is back here. And at first, I was looking at this and I was like, wait, is this like Rhone? But looking at this vantage point and how it's just right across the water, I think that that's Charlock Castle and not Rhone, because you would be able to see the Castle of Rhone on that plateau. And there's also no water barrier, so this must be them looking over at Charlock. But at this point, the second that you get the boat, you can go over to Alefgard and you can see Charlock Castle. But at that point, you wouldn't have the Princes of Cannock. So somewhere right after getting the boat, I assume that you get the Princes of Cannock. Pretty much right after that.
The timeless adventures that define a genre return. Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake, bringing you new and epic experiences on October 30, 2025.
Y'all, I cannot wait. You have no idea how excited I am for this. I cannot wait for this. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this kind of new style of video of me kind of going over, a new trailer drop with y'all, just kind of watching it with you, giving me my thoughts and impressions and all that kind of stuff, because this was amazing. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and impressions of it all. And as always, have a good day.